Hello, friends. My name's Host Eric. I'm the host of Talking with Famous People. This woman sitting next to me is my beloved Rachel. And together, we are streaming as Talking with Famous People. Now, we might not have very many attendees tonight because, of course, this stream is for important people only. So, I'm assuming there's going to be a lot of self-policing going on. If you know personally, well, obviously you're important. You're here.
Yeah.
The fact this is for important people only means that if you are here, you must be important, right?
Woo.
First one here, which is and the first one here to misspell here. So it's a double whammy there.
Highly, man.
Highly, man. Is your first name, is that your middle and last name, with your first name being Man? So anyway, I don't come into this live stream with particularly a compelling topic or anything in mind. Recently I just watched a feature film known as Mad Max Fury Road. Also known as the Pretty Girl Emancipation Proclamation.
Yeah.
It's a movie about emancipating those chicks who were the breeders of these deformed people. I think it's interesting that the bad guys are all like radioactively mutated.
Mm-hmm.
You're not important because you're here. You're here because you're important. Well, naturally, but I'm just saying from a third party perspective, the fact that you are here is solid, consistent, is solid enough evidence to conclude that you must be important.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes. It's very important that you're here. Definitely not as wild as Mad Max Fury Road, which is like really good thing. It's so crazy how like as I get older I respond differently to like different movies. Like probably like 15 years ago, maybe almost 20, I would say Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is my favorite movie, but it's so sad that like I can't. It's my most watched movie now. It's become less of a favorite because it's actually a really sad story.
I'm surprised you deigned to watch it more than once at all, with it being so sad. I'm not inclined to watch sad stories myself. I avoid them rather like the plague.
Well, I think it moved me and it got emotions out of me, so I knew it was something that I could count on when I was like feeling down or whatever. Like I would reach for that movie and I know I'd get an emotional response from it. But now it's like I don't really want that. Actually, the emotional response doesn't work anymore. I've seen it so many times that it doesn't work. So.
Well, I mean, it's interesting that you find it kind of difficult to, I guess, willfully kick in your FI, huh?
Oh my god, it really is. It is very difficult for me to.
People have a much more comfortable relationship with their polar than they do with their sixths. Because for me, my relationship with my FI is pretty comfortable. It may be terrible or whatever, but it's kind of like I don't know what I'm missing. Whereas with your sixth slot function, it's just It's always standing right in front of you going, nanny, nanny, noo, noo, or something.
And my body lets me know. I've been doing like hip stuff and yeah.
I mean, that's what I've posited. I've hypothesized this that I haven't confirmed it, but it's basically extrapolating from my own experience, and it has occurred to me, of course, that my 8 slot function being extroverted sensing may be sort of the least. Well, I would guess the reason it's least conscious for me is because since I'm always thinking that the only kind of action that you pay attention to is word action for yourself, basically. That every time I do non-word action, it just sort of happens before I notice it. As I'm looking around for a duck, a goose flies by, and I don't notice it or something because I'm too busy looking for a duck. Or I'm looking up for a duck, and then the fat deer, prances right in front of me, but I don't see it because I'm looking up. It's like that.
Hey, Amanda May.
Hey, Amanda May. Amanda May what?
I was thinking about when you typed me and how like during the SI part I like dropped out of the listening like pretty soon.
Yeah.
After I'm so aware that I'm poor at it too. It's
What's your relationship with SI like, Rachel? Says Brenner.
it's not a good one. It's very lazy. I'm very lazy with my SI. I will push my SI to the limit too, and
From my perspective, you're pretty good about your own SI needs. If you're by yourself. So, for example, we usually separate during the evening at some point, and then Rachel starts making multiple trips to the garage to get little bits of food for herself and stuff, or whatever, drinks or whatever.
yeah.
I think it must be a weird kind of phenomenon of NIFE that when we're together, she's just not as focused on her physical body and stuff.
I'm serious when I say that I'm like solely focused on smoking weed. Like it really is that.
But she does a better job in general of managing her sleep than I do, and this is unusual that she's up this late. It's 1 a.m.
Yeah, the movie. I honestly thought I was gonna drop out like in the movie, but it kept me. First of all, I didn't remember a lot that happened in it, and second of all, it just like had me up. Like there's so much going on in it. It kept me up. So I'm glad to be live streaming right now because it gives me an outlet to kind of settle in. It's nice.
Well, I was thinking about the nature of this type relationship. Mirage, as they call it, yesterday when I was in the bath. And it's like your first and your fifth slot function. You can say your fifth slot function is really robust, where in and as your dominant function requires it. So for me, that means I'm good at making NI things and at making NI judgments about work that I'm doing and stuff. Sometimes not. But what I'm probably not going to do is, say, pick up on a bunch of physical world cues and go, here's the person who committed the crime, like Sherlock Holmes. I'm not going to do that kind of NI at all, you know. And the key thing being this: for NE to work, it needs to know what to deviate from. So SI SE is a good place to start something, but not necessarily such a good place to deviate from. So in other words, if I want to start a story from my SE field of vision and say there's a piggy bank over there, and tell a story about a piggy bank, it doesn't lend itself perhaps to deviation from an idea conceptually, because all I'm getting then is something that's named, a named physical object. If I draw from SI some memory from my past, it's already got a story form of some kind, so I can deviate from it a bit. And similarly, if I draw from NI, if I were to say, hot potatoes and ash, you would like a piece of, and I said cactus, it would seem strange. It would say trash, ass, I don't know, something like that, right? Something that's going to rhyme. If I were to say, and you would like a piece of banana cream pie, then it doesn't rhyme, and it's violating NI, right? So just by giving you everything like, you know, hot potatoes and ash, I would like a piece of, what NI says, well, it's supposed, whatever goes there is supposed to rhyme.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be one syllable. And it's not supposed to be, boy, would I like a piece of Tina Turner, circa 1980s Tina Turner. What's love got to do with the front row seats? I would like a piece of that. No, that wouldn't work, right? It doesn't go there. So what I just did was deviate, like something that's as unnatural a fit for that spot as I could think of.
Yeah, like I was thinking cash, because it's like not really likely. It's not a food that you eat, but I'd like a piece of cash.
Yeah, piece of mash.
Mash, yeah.
Sure, yeah, mash would work. The thing is, you said in a video long ago that fifth and third conflict, if I remember correctly. I know the video is years old, so the input's been updated, but I'm assuming that it's still the case. Fifth and third conflict? No, I don't think that's the case. Yeah, I think that fifth is your absolute value for yourself, and third is your absolute value for yourself, and fifth is the absolute value for the external world. So the thing is, you are too lenient on yourself regarding your fifth slot function. You are too harsh on yourself regarding your third slot function, and which means when you do succeed a lot on your third slot function, then you feel a great deal of gratification. But you're also selfish about your third slot function, which is to say you'll only engage it on your own terms.
Oh my God.
The fifth slot function, you could be remembering right, Mac Daddy. If you are quoting video from years ago, there was a time at the very beginning when I started making videos where you really shouldn't trust anything I say at all, because I'm just mostly quoting what other people say on the internet. I hadn't done any real work on it yet, you know. Remember that my first cognitive function video was literally me like, so I'm an ENTP, and what it says here is that I've got extroverted intuition and then introverted thinking, and so it's like, how much faith to put in a video? I mean, back then is very little, you know. It required some SI to work some things out. I had two false starts in terms of trying to model it correctly that I had to scrap. So there's some wrong ideas that were in those that sometimes get into my earlier videos.
So going back to like Mirage compatibility, I personally feel that my relationship with an ESTP is more Mirage than the Mirage relationship I have with you as an ENTP.
Well, you just don't like the word mirage as a relationship because it makes it sound like it's illusionary.
Yeah, like illusionary, yeah.
But I just using the term because it's a quick shorthand way to refer to it. What I mean is, what I would call mirrored flipped. So your 1-5s are mirrored and your 2-3s are flipped. And then your 1-4s are mirrored and flipped naturally. Everything you need to know is if you just say, well, mirrored flipped, then that's mirage. If you want to describe a relationship between two types, right? So the thing about it is there's a willingness for both parties to, I guess, consume the other's dominant slot function that allows both parties to successfully skip out on SE. Right? It's like, well, if I can do things by just sitting here and watching a show with you and just sort of, because I never used to watch as many shows and as I have since I got with Rachel, and I really find it very, very, very gratifying. Like, I feel as though, well, I mean, why gratifying? Because it's my fifth slot function. I'm watching good stuff with Rachel generally. I mean, we don't have much patience for crappy stuff.
No, we don't.
Pretty much turn it off
we
right
have
away.
similar tastes. It's really, really nice.
Shibo, your TI would dictate that since I'm talking with famous people, and you are currently conversing with me, that you are, by definition, famous. Thank you, Mom, you finally made it. That's true. You are a famous person. No doubt. To become a famous person, you have to speak with me here and talking with famous people. Now, what this means is there are a large number of highly well-known celebrities who are nevertheless not famous people.
No, they're not famous people.
They're just celebrities, just
right.
well-known celebrities. However, Shibo, I want to point you to the title of this video as well. Just because you're a famous person doesn't mean you're important. So I did ask in the description of the video for everybody to check your importance levels before entering. And if you have an importance level of 7, to exercise caution. It could be dangerous for your health because you may not be mature enough to handle this level of importance tonight. So please do a quick self-importance level check. We're looking for an importance level of 7 or higher. If you have an importance level of lower than 7, it's advised this could be dangerous for you. Because that's how important the conversation is going to be tonight. Of course, I'm not telling you what to do. Sure, the title says you're not allowed. But really what it should say is you're advised not to attend because of the danger.
I made a TI mistake before on the comment saying that technically Michelle Shocked started like the ish, she was a troll this time. But I didn't say this time. She was. I thought it was dead.
I don't think I started in the first place. Just because I made a video saying, "Hey, if you're like me, you may have asked yourself,
yes.
where can I listen to Michelle Shocked online? Well, it's quite a search for it, but I found a spot, and here let me share it with you." So if that's starting anything, then I had no idea she was going to be such a weirdo,
I don't know. I don't understand.
How am I supposed to know?
Exactly.
I thought I was giving her some attention.
You were. I would have no idea who Michelle Shocked was if it weren't for you. And also, her music is pretty good. I would want to hear it, but she doesn't want me to because she doesn't want people to know her work unless it's under her terms. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's just... the thing is, she's been subjected to cancel culture before. I had never heard of this until after I got mad at her about copyright stuff, right? But apparently she said some sort of anti-gay rant in San Francisco, and people got very upset at her because she had this very large lesbian following because she's kind of, reminiscent of a Holland water stopping thing. So, and but I guess she's not actually a lesbian. I guess she's just. In fact, I guess she's like super Christian or something. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the story is on that. But the point is, I don't care. That's not why I'm.
That happened.
That is not why I'm upset at Michelle. So I have nothing to do with it. And I expect I explained sort of in my video today. You know, I'm different. I'm explicitly not talking about that, and it's dumb because it's so easy to call somebody else's beliefs hateful or reprehensible or something, racist, homophobic, right? It's like, stop mistaking the symbols for the things all the time. And also, your own beliefs, I'm sure you believe some stupid ass shit that at least I could successfully paint as absolutely abhorrent and worthy of thorough shaming. So just, everybody just chill the fuck out, right?
Yeah.
Not everybody has to go along with your party line about how to talk about every group. They can be quote unquote hateful. It doesn't make them deserving of just their entire ontology being canceled. It's like nobody ever said any stupid shit before, right? Everybody says stupid shit.
Yeah, really. And they do stupid shit too. People do stupid shit all the time. I say stupid shit all the time.
As an INFP, you want to arrange some Thorazine for your roommate because he does meth every day? What is exactly Thorazine?
I have no idea. I've never heard of that before.
But regardless, does that cure meth or something?
John Sims, are you an important person?
Did you check your importance level? Hey, Eric, would you wear a tie-dye? I just opened an online tie-dye store. If you see one you like, I'll send it to you. It's important to donate cash. Well, thanks, Amanda, man. It's very nice of you. I'd have to look at the specific things and see if it's my kind of thing. The fact is, to be perfectly honest, I tend to associate tie-dye with ENFPs.
Yeah.
So, it would have to be a particularly atypical kind of a tie-dye for me to feel like I'd want to wear it because something about ENFPs makes me mad. I don't know what it is. When I see them in the world, I immediately see them, I go, you're doing it wrong.
It's great because, I don't mind it because they're my contrary, they're my extinguisher type, so I'm totally fine with what you say.
You'd win a virtual high five club ENTP. The thing about it is when I go out in the world and I see an extroverted NE-dom person with a tie-dye shirt on that says vegan AF, and they're just walking around just so present in the world with that NEFI, I just go I just want to run over to them. Let's say I see them across the street on the other sidewalk, or someplace on vacation, we're in Hawaii or somewhere, or we're in Palm Desert, and across the street I see an ENFP. And you can spot them by how they're dressed. I'm talking about dudes, specifically ENFP dude, okay? And he's got a little bit of swagger, because he's an NE-dom.
Yeah, NE-doms do have swagger.
And so, he's projecting some FE, right? I'm seeing who I am on my shirt. That kind of shit. ENFPs do it too. Except he's doing it totally wrong, in my opinion. And just seeing him makes me mad. It's just you stop it right now. You just be an INFP or something, because you're not doing extroverted intuition correctly. And the worst thing is, people aren't making subtle distinctions of the world. They'll go he's kind of like you, Eric. He's nothing like me at all. No.
Amanda May, that's funny that you say that these aren't your daddy's ties, because my dad is actually an ENFP. So that's actually kind of spot on.
See, look at that. Shibo says, everybody in Venice Beach is just an NE-dom, to be frank. They're probably all ENFPs, though. That's my point. They're all ENFPs. They're not ENTPs who have a little bit more sense than that. You know, to the extent that ENTPs don't have sense, it's more of a, yeah, fuck off, I'm playing kind of thing. It says that ENFPs don't have sense, it's, I'm playing, it's hugely important, and, you know. Okay, knock it off. You're wrong, so. I don't know what else to tell you. Coming along. I've explained this on multiple casts before, but I'll certainly give you an explanation as well. I'm aware of the fact that I'm unable to meaningfully launch a campaign with the amount of eyes I currently have on me. So I've made a consistent effort for a few months now at trying to increase my subscriber base, gradually going up. Yeah. Doing the best I can. Unfortunately, in fact, I was thinking of making a video today about one way to, one thing that might, I always trying to think of ways that I can more successfully execute stuff that I do without changing who I am, I thought about a video called something like, I'd have to find the exact right title and thumb, something along the lines of basically how to fail at YouTube. Or the title idea I had was something like, how to gain 1 sub per video for 7 years. And then discuss basically the ways in which YouTube has rejected my sort of native approach, that this channel represents basically a textbook on how not to do YouTube. So I had an ENFP marriage counselor before. And I thought he did a pretty good job of managing the thing. But I needed somebody who could represent her side of the thing, basically. Well, I'm not really looking for advice, but I appreciate your prediction, Shibo. See your channel hitting 10K in the next few months. 40% of people who voted in that poll said they saw me never hitting 10K, which I thought was interesting, possibly a little bit demoralizing.
I didn't see that one.
You talk at a very high level unless you are an expert at typology. Well, the fact is, Amanda May, I've got all kinds of different videos about all kinds of different subjects, and that's part of the problem too, is that for channels that do really well, they have a relatively few number of videos. They rapidly build subs by building up appetite as well. For example, 1 video a week, maybe, they put up. And so, I mean, I talk at a high level, I guess you'd say, about a lot of different topics. I'm saying the most correct and intelligent things about politics of anybody anywhere on the internet by probably a rather large margin. But those videos don't get very many views. I'm saying the most correct things on the internet about rhetoric and argumentation by a very large margin. And yet those videos get almost no views. I'm saying the most correct things on the internet about typology by a very large margin. and yet my videos just don't get very many views. I live stream consistently, more consistently probably than any other YouTuber on YouTube. Maybe not by a very large margin, but by some margin. I mean, I live stream for hours and hours and hours, and they don't get very many views. So the thing is, you could complain about any number of things. You could point to a myriad of different things to explain what I'm doing wrong or why I'm failing or whatever. And the fact is, all of those things would be right and wrong concurrently, because YouTube doesn't work like that. YouTube is doing as large a percentage of the little things right as you can. And that's just not how I've rolled historically. Well, I'm addressing Mark's question. It's like, I'm definitely going to continue to do. It's still absolutely my plan to run in 2024. It's just I get a little frustrated because I'm putting I put some effort, a fair amount of effort into what I'm doing, and it's just not working. So, it's like when I get little snarky comments, it's like, go fuck yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to do all kinds of things, but I am having continued to be plagued by failure my entire life. So now that doesn't mean I haven't had plenty of successes too, but in plenty of areas where I want to work, do stuff, be heard, this is my life. It's been this forever. It's been this since as long as I can remember, where so often the truth doesn't matter, quality doesn't matter, correctness doesn't matter, civility doesn't matter, intelligence doesn't matter, beauty doesn't matter. It's just a bunch of other shit that's like stuff that ultimately I guess I am unable to achieve on those metrics consistently without sacrificing who I am. It's like I can only make so many lowest common denominator videos.
Yeah.
And I can only stay so disciplined in terms of how I make videos. And I don't know. Whatever happens by the end of my life, no matter whatever else anybody wants to say about me, nobody will be able to possibly say, I didn't put plenty of effort in. They may be able to say, I directed my effort poorly, I was a poor strategist, I was overly optimistic, shit didn't play out like I wanted to, but nobody could possibly say that I failed for lack of effort.
Yeah.
I mean, doesn't matter how many times I strike out. I just keep going back up to that plate. Well, maybe that's not why they're going to usually go up to the plate less. Okay, fine. But my point is, regardless of whatever else you're going to say, it's not lack of effort on my part.
Oliver Linehan, can I add you as well on Insta?
Yeah, I don't want anybody's advice, Amanda. I don't want your advice, and I don't want a solvency to this problem. I'm just complaining. I'm doing what's called problem admiration right now. It's something that I almost never tolerate, certainly not in myself. But at this point, the problem is so admirably ridiculous that I have no choice but to admire it. I seriously have to be the slowest growing YouTube channel in the history of YouTube in terms of number of videos produced by comparison to that with the actual results I attain. Yet, here I keep just plunging ahead, you know? It's not like I throw my hands and give up. I just continue to fail. You know? I'm not even putting shit off very much. Like, I made a video today that was an ad that I spent a lot of hours carefully putting together. And, you know, it just got very tepid reaction, very tepid response. Got me no business, you know. Spent a lot of hours on it. And it wasn't like it was work that I wanted to do. It was work that I thought I was being responsible. When I direct my energy towards attempting to achieve under a conventional frame of reference like that, and it doesn't work, it's very frustrating because it's like I don't know. Normally, I don't get down about it, but whatever. Yeah, well, here's what I concluded after looking at a couple of comments. That my concept of the thing, which was that it's a video that will provide people examples of questions and answers that people give in a typing session that will be edited so that the person's attention will keep going forward because not because the quality of the clips is so compelling in and of themselves, but because they come quickly and they continue to present different faces, right? To show that a lot of different parties have validated this system. Obviously, that was me either ignoring an eye, making a bad FE decision, or whatever, right? So I went into it, putting a lot of work into it, thinking conceptually this made sense. What you point out here is what I've concluded in the aftermath, which is it doesn't matter. It was I gamble every time I work. I gamble a lot of time on something. If I decide to work hard on it, like I did on that, right? And that gamble just didn't pay off. It didn't turn out to be a good video. And you might say, well, you should have done... Well, at that point, I just say to you, fuck off. You know? It's like, you waste a bunch of hours.
Most people don't like unsolicited advice.
I don't want your fucking advice, Geiger. Did I not make that clear? I'm not looking for your advice. I'm looking to complain.
Those are boundaries, guys.
Yeah. Geiger. Oh, look! Here's an INTP with another idea. And absolutely not any willingness to be any use of anything in any way at all, too. So, great. Fantastic. Thanks. Like, I don't have enough fucking expert intuition of my own. I come up with a million different ways I could think about to look at beforehand. I mean, it's like there's infinite possible ways to make a fucking ad. I don't need another way to make an ad. For fuck's sake. Good night.